Welcome to the first lesson of the BEC revision series. In this series, we are going to solve questions on some selected topics, right? And it's going to end on the 30th of June. So let's take note as we prepare for our BEC, especially 2024 BEC, because 2024 BEC will start on the 8th July. So this series will end on the 30th of June, right? We have three topics we are solving questions on. So the first one is application of set, specifically Venn diagram. We look at right-angled triangle, that is combination of Pythagoras' theorem and then trig ratios or trigonometric ratios. And then we solve a question on magic square. So let's begin. We will start with Venn diagram, a question on Venn diagram, right? Set. The question says, a group of 80 learners took a test in mathematics or French or both. So the subjects are mathematics and French. I advise students that the first subject you see, you begin with that. So the first subject we are seeing here is mathematics. We continue. 15 of them passed in both mathematics and French. So what's going to be our intersection? 15 of them passed in both mathematics and French. But 11 more learners passed in French than mathematics. What does it mean? We are going to look at that in a minute. Each learner passed in at least one of the two subjects. Whenever you see these things, each student passed in at least one of the two subjects. Each learner passed in at least one of the two subjects. Each person plays at least one of the two games. It means there is no complement. The complement is 0. So no need to write any complement. That is outside the two circles, but within the rectangle, that is 0 because there is no complement. Each one of them got involved. You see, each one of them passed. Complement is those who didn't pass. So here we're talking about passing. So those who didn't pass. But it says each person, each learner passed in at least one. So either the person passed mathematics or French, or he passed both of them. If it is games, each learner played at least one of the two games. That means there is no complement. Why? Because everyone in the class, everyone in the school, everyone we are talking about at least got involved in one of them. So the complement is 0. Let's take note of that. So it says A, represent the above information on a Venn diagram. B, find the number that passed in I, French, I, only one subject. Right, now, before we look at 11 more learners passed in French than mathematics, this is what I'm saying. Now, the first part, which is the A, is saying we should represent the above information on a Venn diagram. So the question itself is demanding that we do it. So we know every student is going to do it. But what I'm telling you is that even if the question doesn't ask, try and draw the Venn diagram. Even if the question doesn't ask you to draw a Venn diagram, try to draw it because it's going to fetch you at least 1 mark. And 1 mark is very important. It's very good. At least 1 mark. So it could be 1, could be 2, 3. But then at least 1 mark will be there for you. So try even if the question doesn't ask. Again, the Venn diagram makes it very easy for you to solve, right? So apart from the mark you are going to gain from it, it helps you. It makes everything very easy for you. So try and represent whether you are asked or not. So I'm going to read the whole question again without giving any explanation. Then we'll begin with the 11 more. A group of 80 learners took a test in mathematics or French or both. 15 of them passed in both mathematics and French, but 11 more learners passed in French than mathematics. Each learner passed in at least one of the two subjects. A, represent the above information on a Venn diagram. B, find the number that passed in I, French, I, only one subject. So let's look at 11 more learners. Imagine I asked you, how many students do you have in your class? We are just assuming a number, okay? And then you tell me, how many students do you have in your Form 3 class? And then you tell me you are 11. Just assuming you are 11. I say, oh, okay, that's a good number for the teachers because it will make everything very easy for the teachers. Then you ask me, say, please, what about your class? How many Form 3s do you have? Then I tell you, you are 11. We are 10 more than your number. What does it mean? 10 more than you. Great, you had it. So we are going to be 21. You are 11. And then we are 21. So you are 11. We are 11 plus 10. 10 more than your number. So you write your number and you add 10 to it. Great. Or when I asked you, you said we are 25. And then I said, oh, that's a good number. Then you also ask me, what about your form threes? How many are they? Then I tell you, they are 3 less than you. You are 25 and my students are 3 less than you. Right? So what do you think my students are going to be? How many students do I have? I have 22 students, right? Because 25 minus 3, that would be 22. So more than means we add, less than means we subtract. But always the number I mentioned first should go last. So 2 more than you, that means 25 plus 2. 3 less than you, that means 25 minus 3. If you bring the 3 first, you are going to be in trouble because subtraction is not commutative. For addition, you can arrange it anyway, but then subtraction is not commutative. So you've got to look at that. You also look at a question on those things or that topic too, the properties of operation in later lessons. All right. So a recap of what I just said. So if I say that the number of learners that pass mathematics, okay, are 5 more than those that passed English. So the number of learners that passed mathematics are 5 more than those that passed English. Let's say those that passed English are 3. So those who passed mathematics, I said 5 more than. So that's going to be 3 plus 5, which will be 8. I hope you are there. Good. Now in mathematics, if you don't know something, we let a variable represent. If you don't know something, we let a variable represent. So imagine I say those that passed mathematics are 5 more than those that passed English. Those that passed mathematics are 5 more than those that passed English. But we do not know the number of people that passed English. What do we do? So we say that let X represent those that passed English. So knowing that those that passed English is X, what becomes the number that passed mathematics is going to be X plus 5. Okay, so if you don't know something in math, we let a variable represent. Back to the question itself, it says the number of learners that passed French is 11 more than. So let's go. The number of students that passed French. So, but 11 more learners passed in French than mathematics. So the number that passed in French will be 11 more than the number that passed in mathematics. Did the question give us those that passed in mathematics? No. The 15 is for both, so don't make a mistake. Those that pass in mathematics, we don't know. So what do we do? Great, I just said it. Let a variable represent. So we will use X to represent it. Then French will be X plus 11. You get it? X plus 11. Interesting. So let's move on. But before we move on, I've already said less than means subtract, more than means add, all right? But if I had said that 7 students pass mathematics, those that pass French are 2 times those that pass mathematics. That's going to be 2 times the number I mentioned. You get it? If I don't have the number, I've not given you the number, X should represent, so it's going to be 2 times X. That will be 2X. All right, so let me go to that slide and then we quickly look at that. So I said those that pass mathematics are 12. Then I ask you about those that pass English. Then I tell you they are 2 times those that pass mathematics. 2 times those that pass mathematics. That's going to be 2 times 12, right? And then if I should say that the number of students that pass English, the number of students that pass English are 3 times those that pass, let's say, social studies. But the question didn't give you those that pass social studies. You say that let a variable represent. So that's going to be 3x. So when you see times, we are multiplying by the number mentioned. 5 times the number, 2 times the number, 3 times the number. 2 more than, add 2 to it. 3 less than, subtract 3 from it. I hope you are there. All right. So we are going to, this algebra, we are going to look at this one in the next video. In the next video, we are going to solve about 2 or 3 questions on algebra. All right. So let's take note of that. So specific algebra and then and the linear equations too. You have it since it also falls under algebraic equation. All right. Now let's continue. Let's begin to solve the questions. So now, what do? We deal with our data first. So let's you represent the total number of students or total number of learners. So our universal is 80. X is representing those that pass in mathematics. I've told you we don't know, so we are using X to represent. So number of students that pass mathematics will be X. Then those that pass in French. So if number of students that pass in mathematics is X, then those that pass in French is going to be X plus 11, which we have already looked at. Is that not it? Good. And then the intersection, which is the number of math intersection F, right? That has been given already, which is 15. Wait. So we have, now we begin to draw a Venn diagram, which is the A. So we draw our rectangle. The rectangle is the universal, the total. And then the question said 80 learners. So that is what we have here. Number of U equals 80. Number of U equals 80. Then we come to our 2 rectangles. Number of M. We said in the previous slide that we should use X to represent those that pass mathematics. So number of students that pass mathematics is X. We have here. If that is X, then the number that passed in French, we said that's going to be X plus 11. And then again, when you were learning this topic, your teacher told you that if you see only, then it is for only this half circle, okay, the semicircle here, the half moon. If you see only, then it's the half moon. But immediately you don't see only, there is no only attached to it, then it's for the whole circle. So if it is only maths, then we would have put the X over here, only. But the question didn't give only, so it's for the whole circle. So we put it on top. If there is no only, we put it on top because for the whole circle. If there had been only, then we put it over here, only here. So as and when we solve the questions, we are going to come along some of these. I think I have an assignment at the end, and one of them has the only. All right, so we continue. Now we begin to fill the remaining parts. We need our both, right? We know our both. The question said 15 of them pass in both. So let's put that there. Good. Now that we know our 15, the whole circle is X. The whole circle is X. If the whole circle is X and then the both is 15, what becomes the only math? It becomes X minus 15. We know that. And then if the whole circle for French is X plus 11, then what will be the only? So whatever we see on top here minus the middle. So whatever we see on top here minus the middle, what do we see? X plus 11. So the only French is going to be X plus 11 minus 15. So here is X minus 15. Here is going to be X plus 11 minus 15. Don't throw anything away over here. Some students make the mistake, they throw the 11 away or they throw the X away. This question is similar one, or is a similar question to 2019 BC. So you can check that one too out. I think it's either the same thing or similar, right? So let's go. We have X minus 15 and then X plus 11 minus 15. So because everything here is X plus 11, there's it, and then minus 15, the intersection. All right, but we can do something about this. 11 minus 15 is going to be negative 4. All right, 11 minus 15 is negative 4. As we always say, you have 11 cedis and then you go and borrow 15 cedis. See, they take the 11 cedis from you, you are going to owe 4 cedis. So 11 minus 15 is going to 4. It's going to be negative 4. So it's better you continue this one, you simplify this one. So our final diagram becomes x minus 15, 15 here, and then x minus 4 here. Not forgetting the top ones over here. So this is our A, this is our Venn diagram. It's very simple and then straightforward. Now you go to B. B says that we should find the number that passed in I, French. So what is French? This is French, the whole circle here, right? If it had been French only, then it would be only this side, x minus 4. But I said French, so it's the whole circle over here, French. So what is French? X plus 11. But do you know x? No. So we have to look for x first before we can find our French. So how do we find our x? As you know, we add this to this to this, and we equate to this. If there had been a complement, you would have added a complement 2 to it. But there's no complement. Why? Because of each learner passing at least one of the two subjects. So the only maths plus both maths and French plus only French should be equal to the total number of learners that took the test. It could also be maths plus French minus the both. All right, so you look at that later because you don't want this video to be very long. It's just solving of questions. All right, so like I said, this is we are continuing. This is our diagram. Now, number of M intersection F complement, that means M only, okay, plus number of M intersection F, that is the middle number, plus number of M complement intersection F, that is F only. So when you see the ones with the complement, means that is the one we are not talking about, that is out. So M intersection F complement, that means we are talking about M. M complement intersection F means you are talking about F. So the one with the complement means, yeah, you don't like that when you're not talking about that. All right. And then that should be equal to the number of U, or number of M, like I said, the whole circle here, plus number of F, the whole thing here. So the top here, X plus 11, then minus the intersection, right? That should be equal to the universal. So this plus this equals this, or the whole circle plus the whole circle minus the both equals the universal. But let's stick to the first one, which is very easy. This plus this equals that. So let's move on. All right, so we are using the first one. So x minus 15 we have here, plus 15, the middle one we have here, plus x minus 4 we have here. That should be equal to the universal we have there. All right, so now we know that negative 15 is going to cancel positive 15. Like I said in the previous one, you are owing 15 cedis, and then your mom gives you 15 cedis. The person takes that 15 cedis, you don't owe again. Or you are owing 15 cedis and you pay 15 cedis, you don't owe again. So negative 15 plus 15 is going to be 0, right? That is why mostly when you are doing it, you cancel some things like that. Negative 15 plus 15 is going to be 0. All right, so that's is gone. So we have this x here. Let me take a highlighter. This x here, okay, plus that x over here minus 4 is equal to 80. So x plus x minus 4 equals 80. This is the x we are talking about. This x right here, this x minus 4 right here, then is equal to 80. All right, let's continue. So x plus x will be what? 2x, right? So that's going to be 2x minus 4 equals 80. Then we group like terms. So we know that 2x should be equal to 80. Then the negative 4 will cross the equal sign, right? When it crosses the equal sign, it has to change. It is leaving the boundary. Right, it is leaving its own territory into another territory. It's crossing a boundary, just like when you are from Ghana, you are going to a different country, you have to change your currency. When you are in Nigeria, you're going to a different country, you have to change your currency. So it's -4. When it crosses the border, the equal sign, it becomes +4. All right, so that is it. 2x is equal to 80 plus 4. 2x equals 80 plus 4. Now 80 plus 4 will be what? 84. Right, great. So now we have 2x is equal to 84, but we are looking for x, not 2x. So what do? We have to divide both sides by 2. Okay, so we have to divide both sides by 2. We have 2x. We have 2x is equal to 84. So I divide here by 2, here by 2. These 2 will cancel these 2 here. Then 2 will cancel itself. 1 into 84. 2 into 84, that will be 42. So our x is going to be 42. Please do the cancellation that I'm doing here, okay? Do it over here. So 2x is equal to 84. Come to the next line. Don't divide right there. Come to the next line. 2x is equal to 84. 2x will be divided by 2, which is the coefficient of x. Then the 84 will be divided by 2. Whatever you do for the first part, do the same thing for the second part. So 2x divided by 2, then 84 divided by 2. Why are we dividing by 2? Because the 2 is the number attached to x. That's the coefficient. We are looking for x. So which one are we not looking for? Which one don't we like? We don't like 2. See, it is 2x. The thing is 2x, but we are looking for x. There are 2 there, x and 2. We don't like the 2, we like the x. So we divide by the 2, which is the coefficient of x. So let's kindly take note of that. Do the cancellation. All right, in my slides, I didn't do the cancellation as I'm telling you. Kindly do the cancellation. All right, so we continue. X is equal to 42. And then you add your learners, the unit. If you don't add the unit, you are going to lose a mark or 2. Or sometimes, if you are not careful, you are even going to get your answer wrong. So x is 42 learners. 42 learners. The unit learners. You have to add it. Very important. So now that we know our x, right? We said that the question said we should find number of learners that pass in French, which is x plus 11. Is that not it? But we didn't know our x. Now we know our x to be 42. So that passed French is going to be 42 plus 11. You get it? Great. So the number of learners that pass in French is x plus 11. Right? But now we know that our x is what? 42. So what are we going to do? Where we see x, we put 42. Substitution. So that's going to be 42 plus 11. 42 plus 11. Now, what is 42 plus 11 is what? 53. And then we add our unit, 53 learners. So therefore, 53 learners passed in French. It didn't say only French. If it had said only French, the number for only French was x minus 4. Do you remember? Only French in our Venn diagram. Only French was x plus s minus 4, if you remember. I use yellow to write there. Good. So if the question had said French only, then it's going to be 42 minus 4. But that is not what the question asked. So let me clear that. Good. Now, if you have any questions, if you don't understand anything, you can put it in the comment section, and then we will look at that. Now, the II says the number of students that passed in only one subject. Only one subject. Only. So now you see they've added only. And remember I told you that the only is the half moons. Do you remember? Great. So the number that passed in only one subject. If I have the Venn diagram like this. So the only is going to be this side. That's the only mathematics. And then plus this side, which is only French. Because if I come to your class, then I ask, how many of you like only one subject? Those who like only math will raise their hands. Is that not it? And those who like only English will also raise their hands. Those who like only social studies will raise their hands. So we add only all the onlys. So imagine we are talking about only 2 subjects, French and maths. Then I ask, let me see those who like only 1 subject. All those who like French will raise their hands. And then all those who like mathematics only will also raise their hands, because I said only 1 subject. So all those who like only mathematics will raise their hands. All those who like only French will also raise their hands. That means you add those who like only French, and then you add them to those who like only maths, right? Those who like only French, we put them together with those who like only maths. So that's how it's going to be. So on the Venn diagram, those who like only maths was what? X plus X minus 15. Yes, X minus 15. And those who like only French, X minus 4. I guess I didn't miss it. So here, those who like only mathematics, that was X minus 15. And then those who like only French, that was X minus 4. So we just put them together. But we know our X now, is that not it? Great. So it becomes very easy. So the number that passed in only 1 subject, that is X minus 15 plus X minus 4. You get it? So the X minus 15 on the Venn diagram, that was the half moon. Okay, the semicircle for only maths. And then X minus 4 is the half moon, the semicircle for only French. We put them together. But we know our X to be what? 42. So that's going to be 42 minus 15 plus 42 minus 4. Very simple. All right, so 42 minus 15 plus 42 minus 4. What do we have? 42 minus 15 is 27. And then 42 minus 4 is 38. If you put the 2 together, you have 65 learners. So therefore, 65 learners passed in only 1 subject. It's as simple as A, B, and C, right? Very, very, very simple. Very simple. So we continue. We are done with the first question. We continue with the next topic, which is right-angled triangle. Right-angled triangle.